You are now listening to the Jay Porks Experience. Listen free on iTunes or at theandydareshow.com. Now, here's Jay!
Yo! What is the word, people? Welcome to another edition of the Jay Porks Experience. I'm Jay Porks. With me, as always, pushing the buttons, producing this program, behind the glass, every week, is nobody. Few things to get to today. Few things involving music festivals. But first, I want to give you the list of websites you need to go to help keep me in business. First off, ConcertConfessions.com. That's your live music news and reviews for fans, by fans. Fans like you, not chumps like them. Get the real story. Read about what you're going to experience, not what some guy with a press pass who got in for free and it was paid to write good about the band is going to experience. Also, go to AnnieQuiet.com. That's your source for quality. All the latest music news, reviews from around the globe, every genre of music, not just the Buzz Band of the Week. They actually don't do the Buzz Band of the Week. They're bigger than that, and so are you. TheAndyDeerShow.com. Now, when you're at TheAndyDeerShow.com, don't be selfish. Don't listen to my podcast and then click off. Listen to Andy. Listen to Tyler Cale. We got Tyler Cale in California. We got Andy Deer in Chicago. We got me, the East Coast, the East Coast. Come get some. You have to. We're taking over the world one podcast at a time. Maybe. And go to themeatpuppets.com/tour. Check them out. They just finished up in California, and they're going to hit Portland, and they're going to hit Eugene, and they're going to hit Washington State, which includes Spokane, Bellingham, Seattle. They're going all there. So if you're in the Pacific Northwest, now's your time to go check out the Meat Puppets. And if you're going to see the Meat Puppets, you better have a camera, and you better take some pictures, and then you better send me those pictures so I can put them up on the Meat Puppets Facebook page. Is this thing even... I don't even... You can't make up stupid like this, folks. I was sitting here ranting, wondering why the microphone wasn't working. Because I plugged the microphone jack and the headphone jack into opposite jacks. So, don't mind my stupidity as we move on. Lollapalooza 2014. Let's talk about the speculated headliners. Arctic Monkeys. Instead of talking about the expected headliners, why don't we enjoy the next 10 months of our lives? I don't get how these websites can make up. It's basically making it up. Because do the Arctic Monkeys know what they're doing in 10 months? Lollapalooza 2014 is August 1st of 2014. Right now it is November of 2013. Why are we planning 10 months ahead? If I could plan 10 months ahead, do you think I'd be going and be a crappy waiter every day? If I could plan 10 months ahead, I'd get in a better business. I'd get in a better line of work. But that happens. The reason there are hundreds of festivals. Why are there so many festivals? Why do we need all these music festivals? I'll tell you why. Because the festival goers split into two entities for the most part. There's the people that go to these said festivals to go see their favorite band, and then there's the people that go to the festivals to see, not to see anything, to experience the festival experience of taking odd drugs and not remembering things, and only remembering bits and pieces of the night and thinking it was such a magical evening. That's why when you go to festivals like when I was at Orion Music and More, you see people passed out on the concrete, and you see one of these little golf carts come and pick them up and scoop them up and bring them to the revival tent. Because people are nuts. Even drinking at shows, I try to keep it maintained. A couple of drinks, get a little buzz, but I never want to get wasted. Here's the thing. When you go to shows, your main goal should always be to go see live music. If anything happens along the way, say your mind gets altered by something, if that happens naturally throughout the duration of the night, then that's okay. But these people who go to festivals and shows just for the party atmosphere, this is how EDM music happens. That's how Electric Daisy Carnival happens. Because these people, they take these things, Miley's or whatever it is, they take drugs, they party to the music, and the next time they hear that song, whatever song they heard when they were fucked up, they equate it to, oh, that's a great song because I was doing this, this, and this. Perfect example is the song I Wanna Know by Joe. That's the song I lost my virginity to. That song sucks, but every time it comes on, there's a soft spot in my heart for it. Why? Because I entered my first vagina while listening to it. That's why. On repeat. Is Joe a good artist? No. Is that even his best song? No. Him and Big Pun with the I Ain't a Play I Just Crush a Lot remix. That's Joe's best song. And Joe had another song, Stuttering, but that was later. That was after I broke up with that girl already. For the first time. There's too many festivals. There's too many people who want to go just to get fucked up. Bonnaroo, half of those people are there just to camp and party. And that not only annoys me as somebody who enjoys bands that are playing, that annoys me as a wannabe journalist at these festivals. Because do you know it's you versus them? If you don't have a photo pass, if you have a website and you're trying to report and you're going to a festival, good luck. I'm praying for you right now because you're fucked. You're fucked. If you don't have a photo pass, you're in the crowd with the savages. People are moshing on you. You're trying to hold up your camera, and there's a good possibility you will get beat up by some drunk guy who doesn't like your camera in his face. Because he thinks if you're a real journalist, you'd be over the railing over there in the pit. Which is fact. Well, I mean, also, if you're in the pit running back, you only get to usually photo pits are reserved for the first couple of songs of the set. So say you're checking out this band, you get their first 3 songs, but there's another band a couple of stages over that you want to run and get. By the time you get there, you're not going to get their 3 songs. You're not going to be in the pit for their 3 songs. I mean, do we need the Harvest Peace Festival in Illinois? Do we need the Bay Jamma Reggae Fest? I'm at jambase.com/festivals right now. Jambase is a cool website. I'll talk about them. I'll mention them. Websites I don't mention I hate. Jambase is cool. Do we need Cabin Fever Fest in Quincy, Massachusetts? Do we need that? Snow Globe Music Festival. Would the world stop existing if Snow Globe Music Festival wasn't happening? Well, Snoop Dogg's playing there, and Zed's dead. You know what? The world might stop. I'd actually like to go to that. Cruises. Here we go. Another thing. The festival has evolved into... See, bands see their fans deteriorating at shows, at festivals. Fans look at festivals and they say, we're not really getting at diehards here. And then they book cruises. They bring 6 other bands and themselves on a boat. And you go to the middle of the ocean and party. Weezer's done it a few years in a row. People can talk all they want about Weezer's new albums and how they're not as good as their older albums. Okay, fact, but they have a fucking cruise. That's insane. I think last year, on last year's boat, Jay Mascis was on. And this year, Cat Pow is on. I mean, that's pretty cool. If you have $1 million, if you're a rich guy, let's just say you're going to Bonnaroo, and you live in New York. So now you're gonna get down to Tennessee. The amount that'll cost, you might as well just with all your food and extra money that's needed, you might as well just get on a boat, hang out with your band on a cruise, eat some food. That's insane. I wish there was an affordable cruise. We have the Staten Island Ferry here in Staten Island that goes from Staten Island to Manhattan. Why don't bands play on the boat? That'd be cool. We should just have the ferry circle the New York Harbor all day with, I don't know, what's a local band? The National or something? I don't know. Are they from New Jersey? Or is that Gaslight Anthem? Gaslight Anthem's from New Jersey. I think the National's from New York. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on it. Don't quote me on it because I'm stupid. My Morning Jacket has their one big holiday in Riviera Maya, Mexico. And they've got, Wow, Mariachi El Bronx, the Flaming Lips. That's pretty cool. There's the Weezer Cruise. The Weezer Cruise leaves Jacksonville, Florida. Oh, the 13th. That's like February 13th, right before Valentine's Day. So if you got a girl who likes Weezer, or if you're going out with a 15-year-old girl now, take her on the Weezer Cruise. Weezer, Cat Power, Tori E. Moy, Div, The Cribs, Palma Violets, Holy Fuck, Bleached, Cavemen. They're on the Weezer Cruise. So you got the festival goer versus the music liker. Also, when I went to Orion Music and More Festival in 2012. Now, as you heard last week when I was talking to Christina, that's going back to Detroit this year unless they get out of the contract. I like the fact that Orion is going to choose a different city every year to do their festival at, because if that thing went around the country to like 6 different stops with Metallica headlining all of them, that'd be something I'd get sick of. But I like the idea of they're bringing festivals to places that don't normally have music festivals. Atlantic City, New Jersey, last year. Bader Field. Awesome place for a festival. It was the weekend after Fish, I believe. Fish played 2 nights there. And I think Fish did 60,000 compared to Orion's 25, 30,000, just to give you an idea of Fish numbers. But Orion Music and More, and I mean, if you're at these shows and you write for a website and you want to take pictures of these bands, good luck. You better hope that the drummer on the drum has the decal, has the name of the band. Because otherwise it's just going to be a bunch of guys on stage playing instruments with big metal in the back, with a big metallic background, and you're not going to know who it is in the pictures. Especially if it's daytime. If it's daytime, forget it. If it's nighttime, at least maybe you get like a backdrop. Like at night when Metallica went on, they had flames. I knew it was Metallica. And because nobody else was playing. But I mean, Orion, there are things you got to look out for at festivals. Suntan lotion. I know it sounds like, oh, who didn't know that? My hand's raised. I didn't know that. Why didn't I didn't put on any suntan lotion at Orion. 1, because I didn't think of it, and 2, because, well, there is no 2. I was going to say I'm a man, but I'm not a man if I'm not very manly if I'm complaining about the suntan. By the time Metallica came on when the sun was going down. So imagine being outside from 12 until, in the summertime, the sun goes down, 7, 8 o'clock? And my skin was on fire. By the time it got a little cold, by the time it got dark out, I was freezing because my skin was so hot. And Orion had free water stations. If you had an empty bottle, they'd fill your water up for you. Which sounds like, oh, who cares? They're filling your water. Dude, do you understand how much money you can save if your water is free? I was pouring that water all over myself, just trying to cool off my burns. And I'm one of those guys who doesn't take the shirt off. Well, I didn't take the shirt off at the time. So, like, I take off my shirt, and right at my elbow, you see, like, the red stops and the paleness begins. It's terrible. And what did I stay at? I stayed at the Flagship in Atlantic City. This is the worst hotel in the world. This is the worst hotel in Atlantic City. It's the only hotel that doesn't contain casinos that's not like, not the Holiday Inn or the Best Western or something like that. It's a quote-unquote family resort. Alright, so it's the one resort you go to with your kids, and you don't gamble. You can easily walk to another casino, walk to another hotel that has a casino, walk to anything that's fun. You can do that. But I figured, alright, I'm gonna be smooth. I'm gonna stay at the Flagship. I'm gonna get it for less money because I'm pretty far from Bader Field, and I'm gonna just sit down in my AC, write my review. It's gonna be great, right? Wrong. You would think the Wi-Fi in a family hotel would need to be good for you to stream Finding Nemo for your children, but it wasn't. It was so bad. The first night, I was walking around the hotel, walking in the hallways, waiting for like the reception on my Wi-Fi to raise. And I went down to the front desk and said, "Listen, this is bullshit. My Wi-Fi's not working." Like, you know what you got to do? In the hallways, by the boiler, by the electric box. Like on every floor, there's the control, like the what do you call it? The fuse box thing by the elevator. And the guy says, if you stand near there, you'll probably get good Wi-Fi. Now think about this for a second. A $300 hotel room, but I have to stand at a certain spot in the hallway to enable to get Wi-Fi. Now the lobbies of all these hotels I don't think they have free Wi-Fi, and they shouldn't, because then I'm gonna hang out in the casino. But the hotel I'm staying at needs to have Wi-Fi. So the first night was a big clusterfuck. I finally got it posted right before I went to sleep. Then I took a nap. And then the next night, after night 2, I made it back to the hotel, and the Wi-Fi was completely shot. It was about 12 a.m., 1 a.m. maybe, when I made it back to my room. See, because here's the thing. Atlantic City was full of metalheads going to see Metallica, plus Beck was playing at the Borgata on the other side of Atlantic City, so I couldn't get a cab. It took me an hour and a half to get a cab. The line was so long. I went to I think Caesars. I was calling the cab companies, and they're like, we have no cabs. I'm like, what do you mean you have no cabs? I paid $300 for a room. I need to get back to my room. How am I getting there? I can't walk there. So I got on a line and I waited. And then I was thinking, maybe I should have went and saw Beck. I mean, maybe he'll make me read the album. Maybe he'll give us the notes and we'll have to play it with Beck. But no, he was at the Borgata on the Saturday night. And it was a Saturday, Sunday thing. So when I got back to my hotel room Sunday night, Monday morning, and my Wi-Fi wasn't working, I said, you know what? Fuck it. I grabbed the bus schedule. I saw what time buses were going back to New York City from Caesars or Bally's. I saw that a bus was leaving at 4 o'clock, 4 a.m. So I said, you know what? I'm booking it. I'm out. I went downstairs to the front desk and said, I'm checking out. It was like 2:30 in the morning. They're like, you're checking out at 2:30 in the morning? I said, yep. I got to catch a bus, and I got to go. I can't. You got no Wi-Fi? I can't do this. I can't. This is too tough for me. I couldn't have had a worse experience at this hotel in my life. And then skip ahead a little bit, I got home and I looked at my credit card and it was overdrawn. My debit card was overdrawn. I called them up and they were talking about how my parking space, I got charged for that. What, my parking space? I don't have a car. As you people know, I do not have a car. So why am I renting a parking space? So they took that off the bill. Thank you. You should have refunded my whole trip. I destroyed that place on Yelp. Destruction. How do you not have Wi-Fi? Wi-Fi is not a hard thing. Wi-Fi isn't like, oh man, we have to invest millions of dollars. Every place has... The restaurant I work at now has Wi-Fi, and that place is poor as fuck. They're charging you $1 for soda refills, and they have free Wi-Fi. Get a grip. If this was buying or selling... Not buying or selling. If this was the burn it down section where... this was the burn it down segment where I explained to you what venues I hate, the flagship hotel and resort would be included. Burn it down. You guys suck. What are you doing for me? You ruined my Metallica thing. Now, if you go to ContentConfessions.com and read about Orion Music and more, and read my recap, and if you read the words, you're going to say, wow, this kid's a dick. This kid is stupid. Why is he just giving me... why is he just giving me a recap of the things and not even really saying anything? I wrote the thing on my iPod back when I had the iPod Touch, and I'm about being timely. Now I didn't know I was gonna be that. I didn't know it was gonna be that bad where somebody would tweet at me and call me an imbecile. But hey, listen, I got plenty of photos and I got plenty of videos, and you can be the judge of the show for yourself through those. And you can get those at ContentConfessions.com. If you happen to read any of the words and you think they suck, just remember that I never said that they were good. I never said it was a review. I said it was a recap. That's not excusing my bad journalism. I'm just saying. And the part about that was, I spent Saturday and Sunday in Atlantic City at Orion Music and More. Then at 4:30 I got on the bus. the 2-hour bus ride heading back to New York City. So I get back to Manhattan. It was probably like 7, 8 o'clock. I get on the ferry. Now I am just spent. I am tanned. I am carrying because I'm a cheap fuck. I have my bag doubles in size on my way home from Atlantic City every time. And the reason is because I take all the towels, I take all the soaps, I take all the ashtrays, and anything could be mistaken as an ashtray. I take anything in the hotel room that is not bolted down that I won't get charged for. I don't care. I don't care. You want to say, hey, though, this kid's really Jewish. Yeah, I am, but I don't care. I do that. I need new towels. And I like the soaps, and they got exfoliating soaps and shit. I'm leaving that there? Why? Why? They're replacing it anyway. Well, I'm taking it. So I took that. So I'm on the ferry with that. And it's about to start really raining. So I'm on the boat. The boat's going across the water, and these clouds are literally 20 feet behind me, and we keep boating away from the clouds, and it's a really thick batch of clouds, and I'm just like, oh man, it's gonna start pouring any second now, any second. So I ran to the train. I got on the train dry, and I finally got, and then I made it to, I went to Great Kills, and then I took a cab home from there. And then when I got home, it was about 8, 9 o'clock, and that was Monday, and I had to be back. Me and my buddy Chach were going to Central Park that night to see Childish Gambino. And that was awesome. So that was 3 days, 3 straight days of epicness. Orion Day 1, Orion Day 2, Childish Gambino. In Central Park with Danny Brown and Schoolboy Q. Yeah, I get my hip hop on. But the funny thing was, it was raining all day, and me and Chach were thinking, oh man, should we not go? Is it going to get canceled? I'm like, dude, the tickets say rain or shine. And these tickets were your birthday gift, so we're at least going to try. We're at least going to try to get out there. So, by the time we got to Central Park, it was wet on the floor, but it was dry. It was sunny. It was nice. The funniest thing was, like, seeing this couple smoke the biggest joint in the world in front of me. And then I light up a cigarette, and I got yelled at by the security guard to quit smoking when this person's doing drugs. I find that happens to me a lot. But if I was the one smoking the weed, I'd go to jail. But this person's all right. So we saw Childish Gambino in Central Park, and that was fun. So I mean, festivals. Don't be one of those people who goes to festivals just because you like to get high and you like the experience. Listen, I have nothing against getting high. You know that. Anyone who knows me knows I am a full supporter of everybody getting high on the things they want to get high on. But don't get in anyone's way. When it interferes with other people's shit, that's the problem. That's a big problem. Like when people start ODing, that's how people start ODing. People who are going to see a band they love don't OD because they don't want to miss the artist. A couple of years ago, me and Pam went to me and Pam always go to PNC Bank Art Center. It's an awesome venue, and you're gonna hear in Homedale, New Jersey, and you're gonna hear me talk about it a lot. It's good for summertime. It's good for summertime shows. You're gonna hear me talk about that venue a lot. I love that venue. A couple of years ago, I went there to see Velvet Revolver, and we couldn't tailgate in the parking lot because somebody OD'd at Ozfest the night previous. Now, does the person who ODs at Ozfest want to really know what Ozzy's going to play, or does the person that ODs at Ozfest see tickets for Ozfest go on sale and say, oh, that's going to be crazy, and not talking about anything that has to do with the stage? It makes me sick. Now, if 2 people OD'd at Ozfest, who's the other one who OD'd besides Ozzy? That's what I want to know. That's my question. Ozzy and who else? But now, PNC Bank Art Center, if you call them up before the show, they'll tell you if tailgating is permitted or not. I'm so sick of state troopers. See, here's the thing. I don't mind. I mean, if it was New York, I would tailgate all I want within the confines of the law or not in the confines of the law. I don't give a fudge. You know how I roll. But it's New Jersey, and these state troopers. If these guys arrest me, I have no idea where they're going to take me, and I have no idea where I'm going home. That's the problem with being in another state. You can't really tell anyone to fuck off. Even if I don't have anything illegal on me. I mean, it's just something I don't want to do. I don't want to be in, like, Trenton or wherever the hell the jail is in New Jersey. I don't know where they take you. I mean, I'm scared of police, but I'm scared of state troopers even more than that. So again, like I said, see, Orion Music and More was only, and Childish Gambino, that's only 3 of like the 80 plus shows I've been to in my life. So if you, and I gotta get that number up. That number was supposed to surpass 100 a long time ago, but this year I really ran out of money. But if I don't have topics, I'm just gonna go to one of those shows and talk about that. That's 80 shows. There's 52 weeks in a year. So basically, I have about 80 shows worth. I have a year and a half worth of topics if nothing happens in the world of music. So don't worry, folks. If it's a slow music news week, I will still rock it out here at the J Fox Experience. Let's talk about the websites you need to go to before we get up out of here. Remember, for the reviews I just spoke about, Orion Music and More Day 1 and 2, and Childish Gambino at Central Park, you need to go to ConcertConfessions.com. That's for all your live music, news and reviews, for fans, by fans. You also need to go to AnnieQuiet.com, your source for quality. Right now, topping the page at AnnieQuiet, as I look here, oh, what do you know, is Pearl Jam's Lightning Bolt Tour returns to Oklahoma City. They played a 3-hour show. Spoiler alert, guys. Pearl Jam always plays 3-hour shows. That's what they do. And they cover Rockin' in the Free World. Yes, we know. We get it. And here's the thing. I did Pearl Jam a few weeks ago. And first of all, like I said, that's on Annie Quiet. I'm just telling you what Annie Quiet's reporting now. That's live shots and photos and words by Stephen Anthony. But the Pearl Jam discussion concerning me is over. A couple of weeks ago, the Pearl Slam episode, I talked about how I didn't like that Pearl Jam was taking over SportsCenter. I didn't like how they were taking over the world when they released a new album and they're everywhere. I get it that when you put out a new album, bands are everywhere. But if you like Lightning Bolt, you don't have to tweet at me about it. And it wasn't only one of you, it was a bunch of you. So don't listen to this and say, oh, that was me. If you're going to see Pearl Jam, don't text me and tell me you're going to see Pearl Jam. I don't care. I'm not going. I want you to have fun. But at the same time, I could give 2 shits about it. I didn't say, hey, let's discuss Pearl Jam. I told you how I felt and I ended it. That conversation is over. It's not funny to tell me you like Lightning Bolt. It's not cute. It makes me sad and it makes me die a little on the inside. That people listen to that crap rather than just gouge their ears out with screwdrivers. Eddie fucking Vedder. You kidding? They played a 3-hour show? Oh, who's shocked? Because usually they only play for 2:45. Usually they only play for 2.5 or 2:45. They played 3 hours? Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm hyperventilating. I'm dying. Did they play Jeremy? Did they play Even Flow? Backspacer? I know too many Pearl Jam songs. I have too many friends who like Pearl Jam. This band needs to get out of my life already. Remind me to draw you guys the grunge map, because I'll do that. So anyway, that conversation's over. Don't tweet at me. Don't tell me about Pearl Jam. I shared my opinion. You're just pissing me off. And I mean, if you follow me on Twitter, and if you're my friend on Facebook, you know that I hate my fucking life already. I don't need to look at my phone and see Pearl Jam every 5 minutes being mentioned. Enough. Let's talk about Daft Punk or something. Jesus. So AnnieQuiet.com, your source for quality. They got the Arcade Fire World Tour dates up there too. They also have an interesting Lily Allen Lily Allen released a new video. I don't even want to quote the article. It's just so brilliant. You have to go to Annie Quiet, and you have to read Reverend Justino's piece on Lily Allen setting back the feminist movement 50 years or something like that. It's incredible. It's an incredible piece of music that it's an incredible piece of writing that you wouldn't expect to come from this idiot Lily Allen releases a video. You wouldn't think that something so substantial would get written about it, but it is. It's awesome, and go check it out. It really does cut the bullshit. You go to ChristinaRocks.com. You check out my buddy Christina. She was on last week, and it was fun. It was fun interviewing her. And if anyone else wants to come on, soon I'm gonna set up a call line. People are gonna call in. That's gonna be fun. But again, you're gonna have to call in the day before this thing airs. And this one's airing on Tuesday. This one's airing on Tuesday because I didn't like the one I recorded. So I called Andy, and I pushed it back. I didn't call him. I don't call anybody. I have Sprint. I can't make calls in my house. I texted Andy. I said, listen, Andy, could I push it back a day? I hate to do it. I hate to go Axl Rose on you. But can I? He said, yeah, sure, no problem. So it's Tuesday now. Happy Tuesday. Go to ChristinaRocks.com. Go to ContentConfessions.com. Go to AndyQuiet.com. Go to TheAndyDeerShow.com. And at ContentConfessions.com and at TheAndyDeerShow.com, you're going to find the Amazon ads, and you're going to click them. You're going to buy things. Because if you're buying stuff anyway, you might as well help us out and let us make 12 cents along the way, or whatever the math is. I'm really not sure. Why not? You're going to buy things anyway, right? I was on Amazon. I went to Amazon the other day. I had $3 in the bank, and I searched for the cheapest thing on Amazon. I got a pair of hipster glasses with the clear lenses. And people like to tell me that the glasses are too big. They don't realize that I'm being funny. They're not real glasses. I don't need glasses. It's funny. I have a big head, so the big glasses make my head look smaller. And they stop me from scratching my eyes like a crackhead. If you've ever seen a picture of me, my eyes are all scratched up because I have allergies and I scratch them all day like a junk box. So when I wear the stupid glasses, I don't scratch them. But my dad wants to keep telling me that they're big. Okay, but the girls like them. The little 18-year-old girls at work like the glasses. Oh, they're cute. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to keep wearing them then, bitch. Fuck out of here. Follow me on Twitter, @JPorks. Tweet at me things that aren't music I hate. Can you tweet at me music I like, please? Why doesn't anyone like any music I like? Like, the Meat Puppets are about to hit Oregon. Why don't you go see them? Go say hello to my boys, the Kirkwoods, and Sam. I know I got my pal Fishbeard going out there in Oregon. I know in Spokane, I got my buddies Mr. Sparkly, a.k.a. the Slurry Baron on Twitter, and I got the Natural Stoner, whose first tweet at me was cock. Thank you. Thank you for participating in the Twitterverse. They're going to be at the Hop in Spokane. Guys, go see the Meat Puppets. Go to themeatpuppets.com/tour and go see them. And go to the Go to the meatpuppets.com/tour and check out the tour dates. Go to facebook.com/meatpuppets. And there's probably some pictures from their trip through California going up right now. Spoiler alert, I might do those as soon as I'm done recording. So they're going to be on. So like them on Facebook, follow them on Twitter, @TheMeatPuppet. Follow Tyler Kale on Twitter, follow Andy Deer on Twitter, follow me on Twitter. Start getting with the Deer Network program. The Deer Network of podcasts is where it's going to be for the next, foreseeable future. So you should get on board. So when I'm on episode 50 and 60, like Andy's on 99, dude, are we having a party? I hope we have a party. He's on 99. I was on like 40. I guessed it at like 41 or something. I don't even remember the number. I'm on episode 11 right now. And it's going to keep going. Because I got this computer. And I got the headset. And even if I get thrown out of my house and lose all my jobs, I'm still going to come here to complain to you weekly. And you notice I said all my jobs? Because I have two. I got another job slinging Italian food on Friday nights. So now I'm waiter times two. So now when my original job tries to fuck me and close, I'm not going to be completely broke. Winning. So, folks, I really don't know what else to tell you. Just get me on Facebook, get me on Twitter, get me on Instagram, get me everywhere. Join our family at contentconfessions.com. Come there, sign up, go see a show, take some pictures, write a review. And I'm not, grad students, I'm talking to you. Not grad students, undergrads, I'm talking to you. Journalism majors, I'm talking to you. Your teacher, all your teacher's going to do is make fun of you because you're, not make fun of you. Your teacher's going to take your essay and mark it up with red pen because you didn't write it like a newspaper writer would have written it in 1950. That's because your journalism teacher is angry that the internet is passing him by. He's mad that he's got to teach instead of write. That's the thing. So if you take if you're intending on taking intro to journalism in college, just take it as a laugh. Don't think you're going to learn. You're going to learn how to write newspaper articles, and there's not going to be newspapers in 2 years. So then there's that, and then there's Maud. There wasn't Maud. Anyway, Whiskey, Weed, and Warren Zevon, folks. Late.
This has been the J Porks Experience. Thank you so much for listening.